and welcome back to another video on the elemental weakness Doedres Undoing cast on crit meteor build that I am playing. I'll start off by saying this is not a build that I've made up. I don't even think the guy that I started following for the build is the initial guy who created, but we have both taken a build and gone our own ways with it. And today I'm going to go through how to gear this build on a budget and what stats to be look after, okay? So for example, right now, my character is on an extremely high budget, but you can get some of these items, but like slightly worse for less than the divine. Like 30% worse for like maybe up to 2 divines. Except for like Amulet and like chest piece and wand, of course, and scepter. Like the combo wand scepter is going to be expensive. 29 spirit implicit. Alpha Soul is like 30 divines. Headhunter, not needed for the build. Do not go for Headhunter until you have the funds to make your build work and then apply it. Okay. Also, boots like these are very expensive. These are overkill. The gloves, honestly, these are cheap. These were like less than a divine. I just used the essence on it and hit and got double socket. GG. Okay. So today, what I'm gonna basically go through, and I'm gonna include links to the trade links. I'm gonna explain rings. I'm gonna explain gloves. I'm gonna explain rare belts, and I'm gonna explain the uniques, right? And what you need to make this build viable. So for starters, I have these 3 rings here. I bought them for less than... I bought 6 rings starting at 20 exalts up to 60 exalts. Pardon that sound. There's some fireworks outside. It's Christmas, second day Christmas. And these are all incredibly good rings. I bought 6 of them, and I'll show the trade link, but you use this essence, and you just get T1 life. This is T2 mana, and then percentage mana. And then you quality them if you have the money for it. You should invest into quality them because it adds a lot of defensive layer. And then we have these staffs with very good rolls. Mana is not bad, especially on staffs, because you get 310 mana here, for example, on T1 mana. That is 10% of my life mana pool in one item. That's incredibly strong. It's not to be scuffed away like that, you know? Then we have this one. We had a gain instead of mana. Basically, what you do here is you look for these 2 mods, spell damage, cold damage, spell damage, cold damage. Whoops. And you add crit damage or crit chance and cast speed. And then you just essence on +5. I have a few more here. They removed cast speed on all of these. Still completely viable staffs. They're just not as good. These essences like, I think it's like 17 exalt. This essence is like 6 exalt. So all in all, I spent maybe on 6 rings, I spent around 1 divine with the essence included. And then obviously 3 more divines to quality all 3 of them. And then I'm going to talk about belts. So this right here alone, as it stands, is very good. We have high mana, insane life, and almost 80, like over 70 resists. Same here. Decent life, good mana, 66 resists. Again, cold rest, chaos rest, strength, mana, life. And we have this essence here that will allow you to just remove a suffix and then corrupt it without an omen, just regular Valorb, and get 2 implicits. So we're just going to do it right now. I hope, like this one, we don't, like, remove whatever. Strength. Okay, chaos rest, fine. This one, life regeneration, remove life regeneration, very good. We didn't. And reduce flash charge uses, unlucky. Here's the thing. That essence costs 7 exalts. The belt itself cost me 50 exalts. That's a quarter of a divine. But we volume. We got cold rest and endurance charges. That's good. That's now a 60 rest belt again. We got that one's bad. and that one's bad. So this one's good. This one's still good, but these two kind of fell off. This one's still solid. Anyways, it's just about going on about it. You don't need to do this gamble. You can just buy a belt with like 70 resists and full good prefixes and get away with it. Perfectly fine. Anyways, so that's the rings. I'm gonna showcase, I'm gonna open up, I'm gonna pull over my trade links here, and I'm gonna show you. So this is what I do. Cold damage on 30, spell damage on 30, cast speed 35, so crit, and not cold spells or all spells. That will make it so, and not corrupted or sanctified. Because otherwise you can't use the essence. So, for example, this one's 50 exalts. Got cast speed, crit damage. Hopefully you can essence this off. 60 exalts. You might spend 2 divines to get an incredibly strong staff. Rings. I have mana, tier 2, and max life, tier 1. We have any decent resists. We have all res. We have strength, int, and dex. Strength is life, int is mana, basically like interchangeable, doesn't matter. Dex is the same thing. We need, if you're playing Alpha Cell, you need 91 dex. So, again, 10 exalts. This ring is incredible. It even has an open suffix. Is it still there? It might be. No, it's sold. Unlucky. But anyway, here you have another example. You can just essence of mana this one. If you remove the rarity, this is a very solid ring. Same here. Oh, no, this one's bad. It has no resists. You kind of do want resist. This one's incredible. If you remove the evasion on this one, this is like it's a 10 div ring. Same here. This one has a open suffix. You can desecrate it. So if you can remove the flat fist, this is still a very strong ring. It's just, you need to know what you're looking for. Because I had yesterday in chat someone complaining that they were very squishy and they're dying just by casting. And I couldn't understand why. And it turned out, first off, he's cast on crit. He wasn't using life tap, but that still wasn't the main issue. The main issue was he wasn't res capped, and he had like 1800 mana. And without a headhunter, you should easily be able to achieve like 2800 mana at least, if you just do the right thing. Look for the right things, okay? Because as you can see, like, my ring is not very good. Like, it's just the rest I need. It has strength, it has life, it has mana. And as you can see, you can get these basically for a quarter of a divine, and then just essence it. So at 1 in 3, you will hit the percentage mana to remove the bad modifier. And that's what I've done here. This ring is basically as good as mine. If I needed cold and lightning res on my rings, this would be incredible. I don't. I just need fire and chaos and all res. As you can see, I have 75 fire, 75 lightning, 61 chaos, and too much cold because of Alpha Cell, right? And I have cold res on my old boots. Same here. We have int, incredible amount of mana on this ring, and a significant amount of resists. Same here. Oh, insane resist ring with a lot of mana and life. These, I would honestly say these are worth probably upwards 10 divines. I could probably get 10 divines on trade for these. And all I did was spend 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 exalts maybe per ring, and then just use a 5 exalt essence or 7 exalt essence. And then the next part is gloves. Tekro's Gaze is very expensive now. It's 9 divines at Ange. It does help the build significantly with the reduced costs, but it's not necessary if you are on a low budget. If you have the 9 div to spend, this would be my first thing to buy over any other upgrade. Okay. As for stats, you can either go full ES with life, or just a hybrid like I did, max life, max mana, and ES. You can get percentage ES, flat ES, it doesn't matter. They are both basically the same on gloves. Might be slightly better with flat, like 10% difference. Doesn't matter. I got my resists that I needed, and I slapped on a Essence of Horror and hit a second socket with the Corrupt to add a cast speed rune. I don't need any resist, so I put cast speed in there. Very good gloves. Actually perfect for me because of the resists. And here's a trade for gloves like these. Obviously, I put a budget on this and I lowered the stats a little bit. Lowered the energy shield, lowered the resists and the mana. As you can see here, this one only has tier 4 mana, but it's 20 exalts and has T1 int and T1 life. Very good gloves. And we have another one here. Slightly worse. But if you remove this dex with Essence of Horror, these gloves are incredible. Very good. 40 exalts. It's a gamble, but it's 40 exalts. These are a little more expensive. I wouldn't go for these. I guess they're all around a div or two now. The bright prices have gone up over the last few days because the build has become more popular and more people are playing it. So you're looking at a few divs on gloves if you don't get these cheap ones, if you don't manage to snipe these cheap ones. But yeah. So I would buy a pair of these. I'm not going to do this because I want to keep these on the market in case someone wants to buy them and use them for themselves. And then I would either just use them as is, or I would Essence of Horror. I don't have any right now. And then once I have 9 divines to spend, I would put a Tech World case in there just to make the build smoother. And now we're going to talk about the Alpha's Howl, right? So we're on a budget, so we want to not play Wand and Scepter because Wands are way more expensive and Scepters are just adding an extra divine sync, right? Like a good Scepter is going to cost you like 10-15 divines, but decent Scepters you probably get for like a divine or less. Either way, Staff is way cheaper and you can just get away with using an Alpha's Howl instead. As you can see, Corrupted Alpha's Howl with 100 Spirit is 75 Chaos. That's like a div and a half-ish. It's just what you have to spend, unfortunately. As for the most expensive part of the build would be the chest piece. I would go for life. Spell damage leeches life. And this row right here doubles the cost of our skills, sadly. But we also have the increased life cost efficiency at 40% or higher. You could lower this a little bit, but I've only played with over 40. I would say less than 40 is going to be rough, especially if you don't have Tech or Scale. So this is the most expensive part of the build. And that's basically all you need to know, right? You need a staff, which you can essence. You need a ring that you can essence. Like, look at these. Look at how many rings there are. Like, we're still like less than half a divine, like a third or a quarter of a divine right here. 100 exalts. Insane ring. Like, you essence the prefix, desecrate on a third resist or whatever you need. Cast speed maybe, if you get lucky. Do not look for cast speed on rings. It's going to be way more expensive. Movement speed boots, 30% movement speed boots. I forgot we need boots. Sadly, they're going to be costly. 3 divine, 4 divine, 5, yeah. Whatever resist you may need. I put in total elemental resist, but you can just put in whatever resist you need for your boots with 300 ES. 300 ES gives us a significant amount of mana. 300 actually. And as you can see, it's going to be a few divines if you need all the resists. If you're playing a rare belt and you have like 70 resists on your belt, you might not need more than 1 resist on your boots, which means you can get away with way cheaper boots. You just have to put it all together. And then we get to the amulets. I tried to get these to be as cheap as possible, but as you can see, there's not much on the market for these budget-friendly amulets with at least +2. You could go +1, but I think +1 is sacrificing a lot of damage. Either way, stats for amulet. You want all spells. You want flat mana. Int is fine, adds mana. Resist is good. Flat life is good. And flat ES is basically budget version of percentage mana. So if you look at my amulet right now, it has 9% mana, 204 mana, 25 int, 16 all res, and 141 life. Tier 1, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. It's very, very good. Incredible amulet for the build. However, I did some testing, and with a very high flat ES amulet, which because of Eldritch Battery turns into mana, we basically lose, I think it was 98 mana if you have a high enough flat ES, that is, versus 9% mana. That was mana quality, because I have an amulet I sold here. Let's see if I can find it. There it is, with 90 flat ES. And this was sanctified though. I used it before the sanctification. So I lost less than 100 mana. This would have been maybe like within 50, 60 mana of my current amulet. So in the trade link for the amulet, I'm going to be having flat ES included, all spells, flat mana, and some resist. You can lower this if you need to. Like you don't need to have 40 resist or 40 resist. Like this one's all of a sudden way cheaper. This one's incredible actually. 1 divine for this is crazy good. And so yeah, I can't tell you how much resist you need on each item. You'll have to figure that out on your own. Once you put each piece together, that is how it works. I cannot tell you to have 35 cold rest and 16 lightning rest or whatever on your ring or your boots or anything. You have to put it together yourself. Obviously, you get a lot of cold rest from your Alpha Soul, so cold rest is not as needed on the rest of the gear. And as for supports, make sure you have life tap. Once you get a little more money, a little more divines, you can get out of Louis. I think it's 4 divine right now. A little bit more, maybe. Yeah, it's 4 divine. I would take Tekor's Gaze before that. And this is pretty much all of the year. For jewels, faster curse activation is decent. It's pretty nice. Some cold damage, some crit, elemental damage. Any combination of those. I only have 1 faster curse activation. Don't need more. I don't even think I need that one anymore. Double crit, cold elemental. Obviously, this is quad 1. Like these are 4 great stats. You don't need this. You could go for like crit, elemental damage and nothing else, or just, I have life on kill on this one. Don't need that. So this is just 3 useful ones for me. You might need life on kill if you don't have, since you probably won't have a perfect Covenant robe. An instant leech on your Heart of the Well. Nothing else matters. Instant leech, if you can get crit on there, great. If you can get anything else, that's good, great. But instant leech is very nice here. And that just about covers everything. You can, obviously, I'm cooking it with some stuff, but that's more high budget in this area with a time loss jewel. But don't worry about that until later. And that's pretty much it. You can get away with some very cheap items to then invest more into stuff like a 10, 13, 12 divine body armor, 2 divine helmet, 3 divine boots, maybe 5 div amulets. Like, I'll link everything I have here into the description of the video, but just make sure you get your rests capped. Chaos rest, I would say like above 30 is good. Below 30 is going to be, but you can also go 0 chaos rest. It's fine. Just make sure you get your elemental resist, like I would say 70 plus on all of them. And then like probably 3k mana is very doable with the rings that I showed and the boots that I showed. That will make it way easier to get that amount of mana. Anyways, I'm Rick the Chef. I'll be live on Twitch soon, and I'm live every day. And hopefully this helped you set up this build. I would say you can get away with spending less than 20 divine on here, like maybe 25 divine, and you can have this build up and running and going into T15s, killing pinnacle bosses, all that good stuff. You just need to know that on the budget version, you won't be able to fit in cast on ailment, elemental conflux maybe. Like you're gonna focus on Archmage and cast on crits. Those are the 2 most important things. You're not gonna have Dialis Desire. You're not gonna have Uther's Augury. all this stuff that makes the build even stronger. You're going to focus on mana remnants, archmage, cast on crit. Those and arctic armor if you can fit it. Those are the most important spirit skills. But yeah, I'll hopefully this has helped, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment or come into my Twitch chat and ask me there. See you.